The Serpent Rogue is an indie action-adventure and exploration game. Despite presenting an idea quite replicated in the world of games, it manages to apply it authentically and with a very curious theme. Following the line of exploration games, ranging from Minecraft to RPG classics, such as Dungeon Siege, the game features several cliché mechanics, but with its own creative characteristics. All this in a fantastic magical world, in a medieval period, full of alchemy, taming creatures and exploring the supernatural. Plot. We take on the Guardian, an alchemist in a medieval world, with the aim of saving the realm from corruption. An evil energy probes our world, and through the battle for survival and the aid of alchemy, we must make peace reign again. Explore, use magic and form a community to restore the world and rebuild it. How does the game work? The premise is theoretically simple. We need to explore the scenarios present in the game and collect items to make potions, build weapons, and prepare food. Despite being simple to understand, it does not mean that it is easy to perform. In terms of movement, we can walk, run, consume the hunger bar, jump, attack and defend ourselves. It is worth mentioning that simplicity is not synonymous with poor quality. Better the simple well done than the low quality complex. Right at the beginning, we will be able to choose the gender of our character. However, there is no customization or anything like that. There is a way to equip the character only with aesthetic items during the game, however, nothing too deep and much less complicated. Mechanics. We have a portable alchemy table, an inventory, a house, where we can research, make potions, cook, store items in the chest, and sleep, and some smaller, base options. Each item that we find during the exploration has a weight, which will influence the gameplay, and a quality to use in potions. Like this? We can find food, animals, enemies, items for making weapons, potions, equipment in general and statues for transformation. These qualities in the items serve to manufacture our items according to the specificity. For example, to make the health potion, it is necessary to have a vitality item and others for combination. How do we find this out? Collecting the items and researching them. It will always be necessary to research a certain amount of material to know where to use them. It is still possible to prepare recipes to fill our hunger bar, it serves as stamina. We can find recipes scattered across the map or discover them based on trial and error. If you make a mix that doesn't match, the items will be discarded. If you don't find any recipe, just look at the qualities present in potions or similar to try to deduce how to produce. We can discover different combinations through deduction, and that's exactly how I followed during the gameplay. A very cool thing that the game presents is the possibility of forging your weapons, equipment, and being able to improve them. All in the same system seen so far, based on income and deduction. At this point, it's where it resembles Minecraft, for example. To cut a tree, it is necessary to have an axe, to dig a shovel, etc. An important tip is, make a sword for combat and avoid using other types of tools for this. It is worth remembering that items can be destroyed, so use with caution or have enough material to produce them. The game brings another interesting mechanic that is associated with the death of the character. When our life is over, of course, we can die. To recover the items, we have to go to the place where we died to recover our inventory. However, if we die again, it will not be possible to recover the items. It will only be possible to recover what we have achieved after recovering the items. It is also possible to lose all our skin and stay only on the bone, restless. When this occurs, we can't feed, we can't run, and we lose our character's stability. We become stronger, but more fragile. To return to normal, we can make and consume a potion that will make us alive again. In this case, an effective death does not occur and our items remain with us. Stealth is also part of the game's mechanics. Calm down, don't expect any Hitman or Splinter Cell from life. It's something that helps you during the game, but only if you're in the thick of it, pardon the pun. To be invisible, we have to find a specific bush for camouflage. With it we will be able to steal items from enemies and animals. It won't always be effective, and when performing a different action, whether it's picking up an item along the way or discovering something new, the camouflage disappears. It's worth remembering that stealing enemies can alert them, so the camouflage will disappear and combat will occur. Animal domestication and transformation. We will find several animals scattered around the map. As with everything in the game, we'll have to find out more about each one in order to tame them. After meeting a chicken several times and researching it, we will be able to know what it likes and how to attract it. Each animal will be able to grant items for crafting and will be able to be a companion in the exploration, as well as the prisoners. Having chickens, for example, can grant eggs and give us food. It is essential to tame every kind of animal you can. Just taming wouldn't be fun, would it? We have the possibility to find some animal statues scattered around the map. But what is this for? Well, we can turn into animals. Going from being a strong and fast wolf, to a simple chicken or a mouse. Each grants unique abilities and ways to find hidden items. Remember, a chicken cannot carry as much weight as a human, so always carry only the essentials in your luggage. The Undertaker. The Undertaker is a kind of shadowy gravedigger that is present near the camp, in the cemetery. There, we will have a kind of base and a corrupted tree. The Undertaker's function is to remove the corpses of animals or people that are not our enemies, since we can attack common people. It is still possible to resurrect someone from our party through him giving a certain amount of shovels in return. He is an ordinary individual, quite intimidating, but apparently our ally. The pirate ship. The pirate ship appears several times from time to time and we can find it on the pier. There, we will be able to pay a certain amount to free prisoners who will help us in battles and populate the camp. The weakest ones are almost free, some are just a coin, the toughest and with the most items, it varies, can reach over 80 coins. Are they useful? It depends on the mode you are playing and your strategy. In general, they die very easily and will only serve as bait for enemies. Several died this way while I played and, the best, resurrected them. It is also possible to find some items on the ship that will be useful in production. Map. The map is very stylish and has a great ambience. The game's art style and cell shading, 3D drawing-like, graphics make the experience quite unique and enjoyable. In the map menu it is possible to see the allies that are in a certain location and perform the fast travel to a certain location. Overall, it's very simple, but aesthetically very creative. Locations on the map are unlocked and we first find the location. Hats. Hats will unlock once you complete the in-game achievement objectives. We will be able to customize our character with different styles of hats that are purely aesthetic. It's nothing out of this world and surreal and amazing, but it's a lot of fun to go after unlocking them. A very nice detail that demonstrates a certain attention to detail. Problems and bugs. The Serpent Rogue doesn't have many problems, but it does have several bugs. As for the problems, the game has dropped frames, FPS, with a certain frequency and crashed twice during my experience with the game. In terms of bugs, it's quite common for the character to get stuck in some object that can't get out. It happened several times and I had to use the hack to escape, jumping and hoping for the character to get out. As the game does not have a manual save system, crash issues and stuck character bugs can become a problem. These regrets do not seem to be difficult to correct. A good update would already avoid further frustrations in the future. Extras, soundtrack and lack of Portuguese subtitles. Have you ever in your life come across an indie game with a soundtrack at the level of The Witcher 3? No? So, here I record that this game exists. The Serpent Rogue has an impeccable and high-quality soundtrack. Much of the gameplay I felt inside The Witcher 3 universe through the feeling and emotion that the track brings. Undoubtedly, an excellent work and a recommendation to listen separately. Unfortunately, the game does not have subtitles in Portuguese. As it is a manufacturing and exploration game, the lack of a subtitle in our language is lacking. The story is nice and ends up being left behind for those who don't have a good command of the English language, since there are many unusual words even for our vocabulary. Conclusion. The Serpent Rogue is a very good game and has a lot of potential for what it promises. Overall, it delivers a good and fun experience. Its mechanics are very interesting and arouses the player's curiosity and encourages them to explore all the places with great care and attention. In addition to creative mechanics, the game brings differentiated graphics for the genre, being in fact unusual for games in the style. Its soundtrack is impeccable, being, without a doubt, the highest point that the game offers. In no way, it disqualifies the other positive points, not least because it is not a music game. Your problems and bugs can be annoying, especially if you're unlucky enough to have them, but with a nice update, the game is smooth. It is a game worth playing and it will be fun. Do you like the style? Give it a try and you can have a good time. Rating, 7.6. For the production of this review, the game was made on the computer, from a copy of the game kindly provided by producer Team 17, and all images and videos were captured during gameplay. Review written by Mr. Superfan Mr. and published on Revolution Arena website. Collaborate with us, leave your opinion on the review, or extra information about the game in the comments.